Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review. And today we're going to be doing my comic load for the week. Now, before we actually get into the comic book load itself, a couple of things, a little housekeeping stuff. First of all, I apologize up front. I was meaning to put out at least 2 videos this week before I pulled up my comic load video. One of them was a getting to know Raven video, another was a comic book graphic novel review. However, the computer was not working correctly and I wasn't able to upload the videos. As we speak right now, back and forth, I'm uploading the Raven video, throwing that on Patreon first, and I'll have that available right afterwards, a day or two afterwards. So that video will be up. The other reason why I wasn't able to get videos up and why I have been kind of quiet on Twitter and Instagram is just because I had to go to a conference in New Hampshire for my job for this week, so it just wasn't going to happen. But that's behind us now. We're entering the 3-day weekend, and a happy Memorial Day to everyone. Memorial Day is a very important holiday. Let's remember it's not just about the 3-day weekend, but what it stands for and what it's important for, and to remember all the things and the sacrifices and the people and all the stuff that goes into the holiday. So let's keep that in mind. And lastly, before I get into things here, a thank you, as always, to my $5 backers on Patreon, Sammy of the Bat Brand, Paul, the Gay Comic Geek, and Connor from OKayFabe. Thank you again for supporting me. I was able to boost up some more of my graphic novel collection, getting ready for that Batman timeline. So, with that said, let's get into comic books. And I wasn't able to read everything. There was a couple things I really want to read, like Super Sons and X-Men and Suicide Squad, that I wasn't able to jump onto because of how chaotic this week has been. But I did get through quite a bit of it, and we're going to start where we always start, with a little bit of Batman in our life, with Detective Comics 981. This is the wrapping up the Batman or Batmen Eternal story arc, but more importantly is bringing a close to James Tynion on there as the writer of Batman for Detective Comics, which is huge because he's been on it since Rebirth, and been crafting this long play when it comes down to this story, and what it ultimately means for there to be multiple Batman or just one Batman. And without going into too much detail, Tim Drake realizes the truth of the future, or the dark future that his dark self came from, and how he ultimately affects it, as well as how the other Batmen or the Gotham Knights affect Batman's future, and more importantly, how Batwoman does it. This issue was beautifully crafted and well done, and a great send-off. Kind of some of the highlights is the resolve for Tim and Stephanie. The lead-in for Azrael to going into Justice League was thrown in there, and I really like the end with Bruce and Kate kind of sitting down and having dinner and talking things through, because they are family. And although they're cousins, I consider them almost more siblings than anything. But this is a nice, solid send-off for the book, and I'm curious to see where Detective is going to go from here, because it's had a sound game plan for a while, which has been this team-up book. But is it going to go to solely Batman, or is it going to stay team-up? I don't know, but moving on, let's talk about a little Dark Knight's Metal, with Terrifics issue number 4. This is a fun little issue of no consequence. Well, it does play into the overarching story of the Terrifics, right? Especially Phantom Girl. But basically, the Terrifics are in their T-Sphere spaceship, and they get captured by a scavenger ship, and they have to get their way out. And you find the team kind of working together a little bit more and kind of gelling pretty well. I'm not going to go too much more into that, other than the fact that this is a really fun series. When I said that this is DC's version of the Fantastic Four, I wasn't lying. All the Dark Knight Metals comics are, DC's version of some kind of Marvel imprint. But it does it so well. These characters are so enjoyable and so loving, and there's such a fun Silver Age blend with modern continuity kind of feel to it. It's whimsical and adventurous, and everything in between. The characters are likable. Pick it up. It's a solid read through and through. Moving on, again, this is another Dark Knight Metal, and that would be The Silencer, issue number 5. Now, Silencer is, I hate to say it, but DC's version of Punisher. This issue basically picks up with Deathstroke telling Silencer, honored guest, to basically fix what has happened with the Leviathan, the internal war, the struggle that's going on with Talia al Ghul and the other underbosses. She needs to be the answer to this. And she's just like, yo, I want to live a normal life. And there's a bit of back and forth with them, but it also enhances the plot and moves it forward quite a bit, especially with Talia. I don't want to spoil too much on what happens at the end and how it's going to lead into other stuff. But again, this is one of the strongest titles, if not the strongest, to come out of DC Metals. It is so good. The story is crafted so well. The artist, who has shown up a couple times, and I'm probably going to screw it up, Victor Bonagadevic. I apologize if I screw that up. Their art, and no offense to John Romita Jr., but I think their art plays very well into what Silencer is. And I love the direction of the story. I love the lore that's behind it. And I love the characters just growing more and more on me. This is a solid read. Solid read. If you haven't picked this up yet, pick up the previous 4 issues and pick this up. It's something you need to get into. Wonder Woman issue number 47. So this is continuing the Dark God story arc, which is spinning out of Dark Knight's Metal. And basically we learn where Jason, Wonder Woman's brother's armor, comes from, and how it plays into the coming story arc, or the current story arc, who the Dark Gods are, and ultimately what it means for the DC Universe. Really fun stuff in this. Got some good action in there. Supergirl versus Wonder Woman is always fun. And in addition to that, it's great to see Wonder Woman and her brother working together. I know there's always a chance that her brother could go evil, or he could die, or whatever the case, that removes him as a family member of Wonder Woman, her extended family, like, you know, kind of like how Batman has 6 extended family. So Don Troy, Cassandra Sandmark, Stephen Trevor. But I really like the character. He's growing on me, and I want to see more from him. So I hope they continue playing up this relationship of brother and sister. So solid read. Not the best issue out there, but definitely holds its own, and I'm interested on seeing where the Dark Gods are going from here. James Robinson has been doing good stuff with Wonder Woman. Now, this is a comic that I haven't talked about the previous 3 issues, but I am absolutely in love with. Mira, Queen of Atlantis. This comic does so much for Mira as a character, as well as it does for Ocean Master. So if you like either one of those characters, you're going to love this. This issue is, again, just continuing the fantastic writing and story arc that has been thrown out there, and it's kind of good hold me over until we get the next Aquaman issue, because Aquaman hasn't been coming out bi-weekly like a lot of comics. He's monthly, so this kind of fills in the gaps and really keeps that Aquaman itch scratched. Solid read, so freaking good, so freaking good. Next, dipping into Flash issue number 47, Flash War Part 1. So it's basically Wally and Barry are kind of butting heads a little bit, and they try to work together, but it doesn't look good for them, because Iris, Auntie Iris, or Girlfriend Iris, is basically being brought in for the death of Eobard Thawne, even though he's technically not dead anymore, in a way. Yeah, I'm not going to question it. And Wally's being manipulated into causing the Flash War. Good story. I'm interested to see where it goes. The only problem I have with it is Wally's not stupid enough to fall for the trick that's being played on him at the end. And although we don't see if he falls into it or not, it looks like it's leading up to, you know, it looks like it's leading up to him being the catalyst for the Flash War. Still good, and I'm really looking forward to Flash War in general and where it's going to go. Next is Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps, issue number 45. So this is the Green Lantern Corps trying to recruit as many villains, adversaries to their cause to fight the Dark Stars. And that's basically it. There's some good wordplay and some dialogue going back and forth, and a twist that I didn't see going with Guy Gardner. But yeah, still, on a whole, Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps, has been the better of the Green Lantern books, and has been a consistently well-written comic. So this is a must-get. Justice League No Justice 3 of 4. So the trees that are growing that could signify the end of everything, well, it looks like the Justice League fixed things on one planet, but Earth seems to have the same problem, and it looks like the evil, dark entities, super space cosmic powers are coming for Earth. Yeah, that's about it. Okay story, but it's not gripping me as well. Maybe it's because there's too many characters. There's close to 15, 20 Justice Leaguers that are being thrown up here. 19, right? Because there's 3 teams of 5 and 1 team of 4. So, I mean, Flash's team really got gypped on its members. But, I mean, it's good. I still recommend getting it, but I don't think it's the home run that I was hoping for. So, hopefully the new series that comes out will be. Hopefully. Which brings me to my pick of the week, and that is going to be, without a doubt, The Silencer. I cannot say enough good things about this comic, and Detective Comics came really close because it had such a heartfelt, well-done ending, but this story is so intriguing and fun, and if you haven't jumped on this character, you gotta jump on her now. So, that's about all for the comics this week. A few updates, like I said, I got a few more comics to fill in the gaps for the timeline video. The timeline videos, which will be on Patreon, I'm going to do as a multi-part series. One to talk about continuity and then to break it up on different eras. I think it'll be easier to digest if we do things that way. And I'm going to really dig into the lore of the Batman timeline materials. So, yeah. That's coming along. And of course, if you want to support me on Patreon, the link is down below, or you can go to Patreon and type in AndrewCutter. I'm sorry if the link isn't working. I think I fixed it in the most recent videos. But again, if you need to, just go to Patreon and type in AndrewCutter. It pulls everything up. And Instagram and Twitter are also out there if you want to follow me on those. On Twitter, I posted up a poll, a question: do you guys want me to do a live video, and what days you would want me to do it? So if you have any feedback or suggestions or anything, please put it down below. I'd love to hear it here. If you want me to do a live video, what day would you like me to do it on? What kind of video would it be? Because I really want to try to do a live video on YouTube and see where it goes and how it goes and all that goes. And it goes. So yeah, that and yeah. That's about it right now. I will have Getting to Know Raven up after the holiday, probably on Tuesday, maybe, and then we'll go from there, okay? So with that said, this is Andrew saying peace out for now.